YouTube? It's the boy 41 Pop. We back with another video. Ronaldinho from football legend to bankrupt criminal. Alright, man. Let's get into it. You know it's gonna be a good one. Alright, grab your popcorn, let's go.
Countless legal problems, half a year in prison, and a bank account holding less than $7. Sadly, Ronaldinho's golden retirement has instead been a total train wreck. He was worth $90 million when he retired in 2015, although despite having a salary of nearly $300k per week, Ronaldinho showed through a Coca-Cola sponsorship he was absolutely atrocious at handling his money. Coke paid him $750k per year under one condition, that whilst in public he'd only drink their beverage. Well, just a couple of months after signing the deal, Ronaldinho instead promoted Coke's biggest competitor. The Coca-Cola ambassador shot himself in the foot when he rocked up to a press conference sipping on a can of Pepsi. As a result, Coke dropped him and stated, the sponsorship on a can of shot himself in the foot when he rocked up to a press conference sipping on a can of Pepsi.
Bro. That one job. Yeah, one job.
Yeah. As a result, Coke dropped him and stated,
that's a way to blow $750,000. Hey yo, Coke, I'll drink Coke all day. Come on, man. $750? Come on, man.
The sponsorship had become embarrassing, assisted by Ronaldinho's poor performances on the pitch, as he'd become more interested in throwing wild parties. In one example, he was scheduled
It's probably the Diddy parties. It's the Diddy parties. Yep, I know what happened.
To play against Man United, but instead the night before, partied in a bar until 3 a.m. A Barcelona board member added, Ronaldinho plays bongos until 2 in the morning every night. Everyone knows we have a discipline problem. Ronaldinho's getting older, partying all the time. How do we stop it? Well, stopping Ronaldinho's partying was basically impossible, as he even negotiated a nightclub clause into one of his contracts, allowing him to party
must be allowed to party at least 2 nights per week at any public or private venue.
at least 2 nights per week. Incredibly, he wound up breaking the contract, as 2 nights of partying simply wasn't enough, justifying his actions by stating, a football player has to have a normal life, as a person and as a sportsman. But according to his teammate Jerome Leroy, this lifestyle was seriously hurting his skills. Ronaldinho didn't train any day of the week, and would just turn up on a Friday for the game on Saturday. I think he was trying to follow in the steps of Romario, who would also go out every night, but he didn't have the same success. Without a consistent training regimen, Ronaldinho began to experience constant injuries. Beginning in March 2008, he was off the field for 1 full year, missing 30 different games, coming from 4 different injuries. In the meantime, Ronaldinho started gaining weight, for which he was clowned on by the media. One article wrote, over the past year, Ronaldinho hasn't looked like the player who led Barcelona to 2 straight league titles. Another article mentioned the former best player in the universe has already become an increasingly distant memory for the Brazilian national team, and true or not, gets frequently described as past it without much debate. In 2002, Ronaldinho helped carry Brazil to a World Cup win, but by 2010, he wasn't even chosen to play on the team at all. Understandably, Ronaldinho wasn't happy, believing he was now better than ever, stating, I am back now to how I was. In fact, I think I'm even stronger now. Everything seems easier now. I want to play in a further 2 World Cups. His harsh World Cup rejection forced Ronaldinho to get back into shape. A forum post from 2012 titled, Ronaldinho goes back to 2004/05 weight, explained apparently he's now gone back to his ideal weight of 80 kilos. On top of this, a Goal.com article proclaimed, Ronaldinho is officially back among the world's best, although as you might expect, this didn't last long. Throughout 2013, Ronaldinho missed another 24 games, resulting from 2 separate injuries. He therefore again wasn't selected, selected for Brazil's 2014 World Cup team, and by 2015, at the age of 35, Ronaldinho's career was pretty much finished. He'd signed an 18-month contract with Fluminense, although after failing to score in 9 games and being booed by his own fans during a league game, Ronaldinho's contract was terminated after only 2 months. The club publicly announced. We were straight with him and told him it wouldn't work for us, so we decided releasing him was the right thing to do. We are somewhat frustrated. When he arrived, we expected he could do for us what he did for so many other clubs. That's what you think when you sign a player. He didn't do well in Mexico, but we took our chances by bringing him back to Rio, thinking he would do well again. Ronaldinho clearly didn't, but he now had $90 million to retire very comfortably.
Should be alright, right?
He'd hire his brother Roberto to be his manager, who confirmed Ronaldinho's retirement, stating, "He has stopped, it is ended. Let's do something pretty big and nice," after the Russia World Cup, where Ronaldinho was spotted looking extremely happy. Behind the scenes, however, his life had already begun to fall apart. Ronaldinho used his earnings to purchase 57 properties, one of which being a lake house in the riverside city of Porto Alegre. From the house, he built a wharf and dock without realizing it was totally illegal. As a result, he was fined $1.7 million, although Ronaldinho refused to pay. It was then revealed he also owed a further $2 million in unpaid property taxes, and as a result, Ronaldinho has had 57 properties seized and his Brazilian and Spanish passports confiscated over unpaid taxes and fines. Ronaldinho haggled the fishing fine down to $1.5 million, but ultimately still failed to pay, leading the Brazilian government to permanently take he and his brother's passports. Now,
Hey, yo.
this was extra inconvenient as they wanted to take a holiday down to Paraguay, so they devised a genius plan: create a fake Paraguay passport for one of Brazil's most famous people, known for playing on the Brazilian national team. As he tried to enter Paraguay, Border Protection obviously noticed him instantly, placing Ronaldinho in jail awaiting trial. Imagine not only being one of the most famous footballers in the world, but also one of the most unique looking ones, and trying to use a fake passport in South America. Bravo, Ronnie, but wait, it still gets dumber. It is unclear why the former footballer entered Paraguay using the passport, considering Brazilians
I'm dumb as hell. I'm dumb as hell.
can enter the neighboring country using their national ID card.
Yo, you was a fool.
Basically, Ronaldinho could have gone to Paraguay without using a passport at all. To add a cherry on top of the cake, Ronaldinho claimed he didn't know the passport was fake and believed he had been given his Paraguayan passport as a gift, assuming it was an honorary type document of no real value, and gave it to an official without thinking when he reached Paraguay, because it was the first thing he got out of his bag.
Yeah, you already did some dumb shit.
He was therefore even roasted by his own lawyer. Ronaldinho wasn't aware that he was committing a crime because he didn't know they were fake documents. He's stupid, but
Or your lawyer has to call you stupid so you could get out of fucking jail.
the court didn't
He's just dumb as hell, bro. He just dumb. He just didn't know. I'm sorry. This is so stupid.
it for a second, and Ronaldinho was jailed for almost half a year. Whilst inside, the prison hosted a futsal tournament, leading teams across the prison to row with one another, over which would have Ronaldinho on their team. He'd win the final game by scoring 11 goals, eventually leading a judge to conclude there is no indication that he has any personal characteristics.
That's funny, bro. This reminds me of what's that movie? They were Adam Sandler that had damn, the football when they were in jail, bro. When people say you want to make chicken, I can't remember the name of that shit, boy. Adam Sandler and Terrence. Damn, what's the movie name? It's right at the tip. I can't remember it, bro. But they had to play a game in jail, Adam was like, basically the star football player, and to lessen his longest yard. Here we go, longest yard. This is basically like longest yard, yo. This is mad funny. All right.
Sticks or criminal.
So in this case, Ronaldinho is Adam Sandler.
Behavior that would put society at risk, and Ronaldinho was therefore released from prison with a $200,000 fine. However, he had no hope of paying this. In fact, the reason he and his brother initially had their passports seized was because an investigation into their bank accounts revealed a balance of just 24.63 Brazilian real, or $6.59. Ronaldinho's plan to rebuild his life was to launch a cryptocurrency, releasing the Ronaldinho Soccer Coin project, which gained just 61 Instagram followers. With his own coin failing, Ronaldinho instead promoted other shady crypto projects, always being met with understandable critique. Is this a translation for "you are bankrupt again"? In case you forgot, here are all the crypto projects you pump and dumped over the years, only leading to even more problems. Ronaldinho denies part in alleged 61 million crypto scam at congressional hearing. His likeness had been used to promote a cryptocurrency which promised a return of 2% per day. After the crypto inevitably turned out to be a scam, Ronaldinho was brought before the government, although he claimed he was never partnered with the company and it used his name and image without his authorization, arguing he was also a victim of the purported scheme. But Ronaldinho took this photo specifically for the company and also had a history of involvement in these kinds of shady projects. Additionally, Ronaldinho had failed to appear before 2 previous hearings related to the inquiry. He said weather conditions meant he was not able to attend. His involvement is up for interpretation, but it seems he was sufficiently rattled as he'd pivot to promoting traditional products where he'd only experience even more issues. Ronaldinho posted to his Instagram, "This is a sad time for anyone who likes Brazilian soccer. It's hard to find the energy to watch the games. This is perhaps one of the worst teams in recent years. It has no respectable leaders, just average players for the most part. I've never seen a situation as bad as this. I repeat, our performance has been one of the worst things I have ever seen. It's a disgrace." The post was shared to Reddit and worst things I have ever seen. It's a disgrace. The post was shared to Reddit and people weren't happy. Criticism is fine, but straight up quitting on the national team in an official post is something to say the least. Imagine your idol saying that about you and your teammates, killing their confidence. Well, only one day later, Ronaldinho returned to Instagram, revealing the nasty message was actually an ad. "I would never abandon Brazilian football, never. And I would never say the things you saw. In fact, these words came from real Brazilian fans. They are real comments I saw on the internet. Guys, what our boys need is support at this time. That's why I joined Rexona in this movement. We are asking everyone to send messages of support. Hashtag Rexona does not abandon you. He's damn broke, isn't he?" Ronaldinho's finances haven't been discussed recently, but judging by photos of him taking private jets, it seems he's rebuilt his life at least to some extent.
Hey yo. Hey yo, Ronaldinho. Yo, hope you do good, brother. Peace.